we'll move ahead. These are typical projects I've built up until this last 6 or 9 months. This is a graphic display, a couple of batteries, 5-volt power supply, real-time clock. This clock is accurate to within a few seconds per year. I just had to reset it recently. And here's the pickaxe chip, and it displays it's a full-blown calendar, the date, time, and I added temperature. There's a little temperature sensor right, I think it's right there. Oh no, it's right here, excuse me, changed it. So here's a little temperature sensor, and so we display date, time, and temperature. This is the Arduino that's sitting up front here. Instead of using serial communications at 2400, 4800 baud, 9600 baud, I'm sure some of you guys recognize those figures. Well, I'm using 200K baud, and it's a 2-wire data interface that you can't see, but anyway, so it's extremely fast. This is a version of a little tiny switch console. So you have navigation switches, so you have multiple lines or multiple pages. Let's say you're wanting to display too much data for this 4-line device, mouse click. So you just create pages of information, and using the switches here, just like an iPad, iPhone, whatever, you can toggle to another page of data. This is I have on the internet. This is another clock, calendar, temperature, and then what I added was an electronic compass right under this blue cap. So this is one chip right there. It's this one. This chip, this real-time clock on this board, 5-volt power supply running from 2 old laptop batteries. And this is a complete time, calendar, temperature, and compass heading. So I built that for my old Volkswagen. And for motors, again, real simple. Here's an 8-pin chip driving a special driver that I only need for stepper motors. And where do you get stepper motors? These are the little motors that are manufactured to turn in fractions of a degree. You find these in the old dot matrix printers, fax machines, scanners, your old desktop scanners. Well, if you have any of those, don't throw them away. Tear the little motors out. And although they have 6 wires on them, it really only needs 4. Anyway, these are a lot of fun to work with. And I made this motor driver universal so that it can drive either a model airplane servo motor or a stepper motor. And you can do fractions of a degree, so you get some very, very fine resolution out of these old motors. They have tremendous torque. The Raspberry Pi is brand new. The Raspberry Pi came out in about February 2012. This is what the desktop looks like. It's a full-blown Linux operating system. It's programmed in a variety of languages. This was designed to introduce high school, actually all school children, into the world of computer programming. It was developed in the United Kingdom by a university, a person associated with a university, because they noticed in 2005 a lot of the students who were applying for computer science majors knew very little. That the decade of students before them knew a lot more, but for whatever reason in 2005 it seemed like coming in their skills were very poor. And so they figured they'd have to spend an entire year just bringing them up to the expected level. So this gentleman, you can read about it on the net, this Raspberry Pi was developed. It's a little tiny circuit board, about 60 by 90 millimeters. That's about 2.5 by 3.5 inches. And this is what they're using to teach programming. I went to the Children's Fair Sunday and met a whole bunch of 8 to 12-year-old computer geniuses. So that's how well this thing is succeeding. I had a lot of fun talking to these little kids. They were amazing. I won't go into everything here, but it's very similar to Windows. You have a little start button down here, the log out over here, the clock's over here. You push the start button, all the programs come up, just like you're running Windows XP. It's $35 plus shipping. That's the board right there. They use the board on a chip out of a cell phone, which is this one, and this chip actually has many chips in it. So you get Cat5 over to your Ethernet, 2 USB ports, which can be expanded with a hub. So you have a USB keyboard, USB mouse, USB Wi-Fi adapter, USB Bluetooth adapter, on and on and on. And this is the 4 gigabyte memory card I'm using. This is the breakout for all of the I/O pins, so you can control the whole world. You have 20 pins. Yeah, is it 20? It looks like more than 20, doesn't it? Well, it's 20. And over here you have your HDMI connector to your latest, greatest flat panel LCD monitor. So it does direct via HDMI to your monitor. And then here's the old RCA composite like we had on our Palm games 20, 30 years ago. Well, they maintain that for people in, maybe third world countries who are not up to the HDMI products. Very powerful. Has wonderful support on the web. This was just one thing I ran across, so I put the slide up. How to make your own internet radio using that board. You won't find resistors and capacitors at all. It's all software. I can't do that. Let's forget that. These are a few references. The main ones to go to are the last two here. adafruit.com, sparkfun.com. For the Raspberry Pi, it's raspberrypi.org. And those 3 links will take you to millions of links. I wanted to talk a little bit about the Orange County Maker Faire. Maker Faire is really interesting. And I'm going up this coming month in San Francisco. San Francisco is way ahead of us. I don't know why it's just now coming to LA. It makes us look like a bunch of dummies down here. Take some time and you can bring up the link, Orange County OC Mini Maker Faire. It's fantastic. It's for all arts, crafts, science, anything that you make at home, you'll see at this fair. If you're into gadgets, you'll spend the whole day there. I really enjoy it. Or this is just the back side of the same page. But anyway, check it out on Google. It's going to be in the August 17th, roughly, this summer. Well worth attending. Something else I ran into is the Urban Workshop. Now, we're all ham radio operators. A lot of us build our own stuff. But, all of us don't have space in the garage for drill presses, lathes, milling machines, welding equipment, metal bending equipment. So you can join what they call the Urban Workshop. With your membership, you get to use all the very latest tools, including the 3D printers. That's the brand new item where you can make your own machine gun parts. That's how good they are. Now you really can. So, I think that's about it. Oh yeah, one last one. I forgot this one. For those of you interested in robotics, I did find this. It took me a long time to find this link. The Robotics Society of Southern California, they meet right over here at Long Beach Cal State off of Paladridge Drive. And it might be a real exciting group for some of you guys to take a look at. Meets second Saturday of every month. So you combine your ham radio needs or station accessories with all of these microprocessors, whether it's a Morse code keyer or you want to receive Morse code. I built a receiver in, I don't know, 74, 75, that would receive Morse code. It was my secret weapon. And or you just need a 10-minute timer for your station, or you need a voltage regulator, or you have double batteries in your mobile, and you're charging your secondary battery, and you want it to cut off at a certain point, or you want to isolate it at a certain point. So you use a microprocessor chip and a relay. It's that simple. You read the input voltage, see where it's at. If it's within the range you want, you trigger the relay one way or the other. What I did is I put a string of LEDs in series and I pulse width modulate them, so I have a really nice work lamp when I'm working on my old Volkswagen. So by using pulse width modulation, it's really a percentage. The current is always the same, 1 amp at 3.5 volts per LED. But I turn them on and off 10,000 times per second. So depending on the percentage of on-off time in that one pulse, it's either brighter or dimmer. So that's about it. Anybody has any questions? Oh, I have one last thing. Is anybody in here actually working on this stuff? Anybody actually hands-on? You're doing something now? Stand up so I can see you. Okay, I have a book here I'd like to give away. And I was going to want to give it away to a high school kid, actually, because they have the least amount of money. That's what I started. I was 12. But if somebody wants to pick a number, yeah, have the guys come up.
I was going to say, we can just pull it, give them Dickens.
I'd like to give it to them direct.
Spencer?
Okay, I have two books. Spencer, here, I'm going to give you this one. You actually? Yeah. Okay, it's yours. Okay, there you go. I have one more. Okay, for the rest of you, pick a number between 3,000 and 4,000. And write it down and give it to your buddy. All right. Who's in this game? All right. What's your number?
3312.
3312. Okay, remember that. Okay, next.
3,579.
Ooh. Next. What?
3145.
Say again?
3145.
Okay, is that it? Is that everybody?
3900.
3,900. Okay, and
2001.
okay, 2001. Okay. All right. The magic number was 3672. I think it goes this gentleman over here. These are going to be right on. Thank you. Enjoy. Okay, that's all I have. Hope you.
Bill, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Okay, let's get some. You don't have to have a handout for those, a list of URLs, please.
You know what? I can put it up on my website. It's here a couple of days. Yeah. Oh.